Hi, I'm Christian. This is Jerry. Us two, we've put together a morning stretching routine that you can follow. Um, it can be anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on how much you'd like to do of it. And the first part, which takes 5 minutes, is where we're just rolling out all of our joints, our neck, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and then we go into more of static stretching. Be quiet. Go into more static stretches after that. But if you really just don't have much time and you want to infuse fitness into a busy morning, just do the beginning part, but you also benefit a lot more if you do the other ones as well. Now, this routine is gonna wake you up and help prepare you to attack your day. Stretching, actually, studies have shown, releases endorphins, mood enhancing endorphins, that help to alleviate stress and anxiety. You also feel better, your muscles, because you're going to increase blood flow to these regions that you're targeting. And blood flow is also going to go to your brain to sharpen concentration and your senses. Some things to keep in mind: your breathing. In order to follow an organized foundation, I would say each exercise should consist of 4 breaths. At the beginning, when we're rolling out our neck and all of our other joints, you should switch direction at each breath. The first 2 breaths should be slow and controlled. The last 2 should be at a faster pace. Your inhales and exhales should also be of similar length, where you breathe in for 3 to 5 seconds, then exhale for 3 to 5 seconds. You need to be conscious that you're breathing throughout the entire time and make sure you're breathing deeply into your belly. Also, I would advocate drinking water in the morning. If you're someone who isn't hungry and doesn't like eating breakfast, this will make you hungry, trust me. And the stretching. This plus the stretching, you're going to be ravenous. Also remember that this is a gentle stretching routine. You should be very careful not to push yourself to any pain during these stretches. And just remember, your body is in a vulnerable state because it's been inactive for however long you've been sleeping. Anything else, buddy? No? Give me a kiss. We begin our lovely morning routine with what is called HARA breath. It's a yoga breathing technique that is going to flood our body with oxygen. This will help wake us up and prepare our muscles to stretch. It's very simple. You stand with feet hip width apart. You're going to breathe deep into your belly. And you're going to reach towards the sky and elongate yourself. Once you have full breath, exhale and swing your arms down, both at the same time. And imagine all tension and all anxiety leaving you. It actually feels really good and it's fun. You can swing as you please. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Once we get a good 5 HARA breaths in, we're going to move on to neck rolls. Now as you begin, start with a slow revolution around your shoulders, really focusing on feeling a stretch in your neck at all angles. And once you get 1 or 2, roll into each side. Then do both ways again, except at a slightly faster pace. We'll then move on to shoulder shrugs, shoulder circles. Similar to neck rolls, we begin with a slow rotation. We really focus on feeling and stretching our shoulders at all angles. After going forwards and backwards a few times, do the same, except at a slightly faster pace.
We'll then be going into arm rotations. Start with large circles, forward and backwards. Again, really just going for range of motion here and opening up our shoulders. After we do it slow, we're going to do some quick, smaller circles. And while you're doing these, you can have your palms facing down or forwards. It kind of targets different muscles depending on how your hands are held, so just be aware of that. But after that, we actually then go into trunk rotations where we start out with our hands low and limp, our arms are limp. And then after we get some of those in, I actually start raising my arms up and straightening them a little, bringing them higher, just to kind of get a different rotation, a different feel, open up different muscles, and then back down where I drop my arms and really go limp right here, as you can see. Twisting a lot. Okay, well after that we go to hip rotations. As you can see, all of our stretches begin with the rotations being slow and focused and controlled, and then gradually gaining speed. This is important because we want to get the full range of motion when we begin with, and as much stretch as we can. And then going down to the knees with the knee rotations. You can, when your knees are out in front of you, you can move your weight onto the balls of your feet. You never really want to be on your heels when your knees are back. You want to keep most of your weight over you, over your knees, and controlled. These, you don't want to be too fast, but I do increase my speed. Yep, and of course after that, we're all the way down to the ankle, doing the ankle rotations. Now, if you can't balance, or if you just don't want to, you can move over to the pole, or a wall, or anything, really, you can put your weight into, so you can focus more on your ankle instead of balancing. And now that all of our joints and limbs are kind of warmed up and active, we're going to be holding some stretches a little longer now, but nothing too serious and nothing should be painful. Our first stretch here is going to be an upper back release, where we're going to stretch out all the muscles in our upper back. And to do this, we clasp our hands in front of us with straight arms. We're going to separate our shoulder blades and round the top part of our back. As you can see, I pull my shoulder blades back and then round it off again just so you can see more clearly what's going on. Next, we're going to open up our pecs, our chest, and this kind of stretches out the front of our shoulder as well. Basically, you find a wall or a pole like I have, and you twist your torso away from your arm, which is in a right angle against the wall. It's very simple, very easy to feel. Just kind of keep twisting your body until you feel something and hold it there. And go the other way. And you can fold your arm that's not stretching across your body like I do, or you can just let it hang. Doesn't really matter that much. We're then going to stretch and open up the outer parts of our shoulder. Really, you need a door frame, pole, something you can hold on to do this. Can't really do it with just a wall. But you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to turn and face you here. And you're going to have to adjust your arm up and down the pole just to kind of get a good feel and a good stretch on the outside of your shoulder. Now you're just twisting your torso again away and stretching that shoulder out. Our next stretch here is a standing side stretch, where you cross one foot in front of the other and you shift your weight onto that front foot. You can also have your hand on a surface to help yourself stay balanced, and you reach over your head and kind of across and over, not straight up, and you're going to feel the side in your obliques and all of those muscles open up. You might also feel it in your hip for the leg that the foot is in front. We're then going to fold our arms. Our feet are going to be about hip width apart. They can be closer to, and we're going to hang over ourselves and stretch out our lower back and hamstrings. Kind of shift from slightly bending your knees to straightening them. Really stretch your back and hamstrings out, and make sure the crown of your head, the top of your head, is pointing to the ground. You should never be looking at the ground, rather be looking behind you. So completely hang and relax everything, and then start shifting from side to side so you get a nice stretch. Just shifting your weight. You don't want to twist. Just shifting weight from right to left. And then we'll go forward and back, shifting weight into our toes and heels. Just a slight change and shift of weight. We'll then go into an outer hip stretch, which is called half pigeon in yoga. As you can see, you're going to put your shin in front of you, and then the goal is to have it perpendicular to your body, but flexibility might limit you. And then just kind of start shifting your weight over your shin and your leg that's folded in front of you until you can kind of lay your forearms down, relax, and just shift your weight a little more and more. You definitely don't want this to hurt. If you have knee problems, this might be a little uncomfortable, but usually it's not. There's also other ways we can stretch our outer hip, which I'll show you right here. Yeah, you're on your back, and you cross one leg over the other. You're going to reach through that leg to where your hamstring is and pull your opposite leg towards you. Now this is going to stretch the hip of your right leg out. You can also grab your shin for more stretch and pull your foot down. You can also push your right knee out in that situation. This is another outer hip kind of IT band stretch, which is simple, as you can see. You saw that. And then we move into the hip flexor, the front of our hip. We're opening up right here. Now this takes a correct form. So what you're going to do here is my right foot is directly above my right knee. My left knee is directly above my hips. And you're going to tilt your pelvis under yourself, like so. Kind of pull my shirt up there. Watch for the tilt right there. Then you're going to shift your weight forward just a little. You keep your pelvis tilted, keep your glute contracted. All of that is going to open your hip up just in itself before you start moving forward. So it's just going to take a gradual, small lean forward to really start stretching it out. And then we're going here to our groin, where we place our leg, the groin we wish to stretch out to the side of us. Kind of shift our weight back and away from that leg. And you'll feel it on the inside of your leg. And if you have your toe closer to your ground, it kind of stretches it a little more. Otherwise, it gets more of the hamstring if the toe's up and vertical. See how I'm laying it down right there? And you'll feel it once you get in this position. You'll feel what stretches it best. After this is called the frog. This is also a groin stretch where our knees are as far apart as they can be. Our feet are flat on the ground, directly behind our knees. And it's just going to take a small shift in weight backwards to stretch them out. If you have your knees far enough apart, that is. If they're not, get them as far apart as they can. Here we're in child's pose. Personally love child's pose. It opens the knees up and it's just comfortable to be in. As you can see, you're going to shift your weight back first And then lay your forearms down and your head down. Kind of put some pressure on your fingers like I am right here to push your body weight back and stretch your knees out more. And then just kind of lay there comfortably. Right here, I'm going to my calf stretch. You can't really see it until I go to the side. As you can see, I'm kind of shifting weight into my shin, stretching my shin out right there. And then here we're targeting our back still. You're actually going to want to keep your butt completely relaxed in this position. You're going to push down through your hands, keep your arms straight, and your shoulders down. And you'll feel it in your lower back. And a little small variation in the whip right there. Right here we're stretching our wrists. You're going to turn your wrists out until they're facing you as far as they can be. And you're going to shift your weight back just a little right there. And that's going to open up your forearms. Real nice wrist stretch. But be careful doing this because shifting weight that's too far can be uncomfortable for your wrists. Now we're stretching the top of our wrists. As you see, the top of my hands are on the ground right next to your knees. And just kind of put a little bit of weight into them and you'll feel them stretch. And that's really all you need for your wrists. And then we got James. He thinks this stretch is good.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, man.
Thanks.